Kelly Bear here. Welcome to my channel. It is a lazy Sunday. I was going to say morning, but it is now 12:05, so it is officially afternoon. It is a lazy Sunday afternoon here at Kelly Bear HQ. HQ being my bedroom right now. Just realised I need to check if my drink has cooled down enough so it won't like melt my mouth. Oh yeah, that's good. Good temperature. I just realised I have my biscuits and I haven't eaten any of them. I meant to dunk them in my drink. Anyway, that is all not relevant to this video. What is relevant, as you will see from the title, is this is going to be a tag. I haven't done a tag for a while. I can't remember the last tag I did. I'm trying to work out if my camera is in the right position. I did this in my last video. Chaos Goblin, sorry, apologies. And I just realised I should also put my phone on discreet, such as if it rings, it's not loud, because it'll make me jump, because that's just me. So yeah, this is the My Magical YouTube Journey hashtag. This was originally by Starlight the Wild Witch. And I was tagged by Ivy's Grove, Kelly at Ivy's Grove, another Kelly. And yeah, so I will link both of their videos down. I'll link Starlight the Wild Witch's original tag video, and then I'll also add the Ivy's Grove video, and I will also link all of the questions down below for you as well. There is 25 questions. Actually, I need my phone, I've just realised, because I put the questions, I copied them over into my phone because I figured that would just be easier, and then ones that need a little bit more of elaboration, I have written some notes down, so I'll be looking down to refer to both of these. I have also pulled out the two decks that I'm planning to use together next week for my sort of deck combo readings I've been doing over on the Instagrams and on my community feed. They are the readings that I do for myself daily. I've been doing daily readings, but I've been sharing them because I'm just trying to get less self-conscious about just reading tarot in front of other people, like putting my spin on tarot out there, because I enjoy reading other people's spin on the tarot and they come at it from different ways, and so I'm like, well, you know, some people might not jive with the way that I read tarot, or they might disagree with my interpretation, but remember, I'm reading for myself, so I have the context of what is going on in my life when I'm interpreting those things, and I'm always asking usually asking the same thing each day about how to go ahead with my day, how to approach my day, but obviously I have the context of my life and my life experience. But you know, I like to share it to put myself out there a bit more, but also to see if that resonates with anyone else, and also who doesn't love some pretty pictures of some deck combinations. So next week I'm thinking I'm probably going to use the Full Hexa Tarot, which is actually getting a mass market release. This is the indie version. I want to know if there's going to be a bigger book, because you can buy a separate book for this, but it's quite pricey because it's print on demand. But if the mass market version of this comes with like that book, then I might just buy the mass market version for the books. I'm looking forward to that, see how that pans out. Although I'm not sure what they'll do with the deck, because what was that deck? It's like a nighttime animals deck that they did, and it was released mass market, and they cut like a chunk of the bottom out with the titles, and it just annoyed me. I was like, that's kind of ruined it for me, because you're missing a chunk of the picture, and that's like important. So I hope they don't do that to folks when they do the mass market one, because that sucks. But I thought because this is going to be a very talky video, if it gets a bit like, you know, a bit much, I am a very verbose, loquacious, rambly person, so and yeah, the Pathfinder Oracle by Skull Garden. Andrew Swartz at Skull Garden. Andrew Skull Garden put out a post on Instagram this week, because there are counterfeit decks of theirs being sold on Temu. They're fake. Please don't buy from Temu. I don't really know much about Temu other than it just seems to be like the new Shane, or Shane. Just don't. It's not good. Someone, for prices that cheap, someone is definitely suffering somewhere. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox for a moment. Do you know what? I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to pause and dunk a cookie. I need cookie. I will be back. Oh, that would reek nice. Gotta have a cookie, you know. So I'm just gonna dive straight in. Oh, actually no, I lied. Fuck me. This is a magical themed, witchy themed tag. I was tagged by Ivy. Did I actually say that I was tagged by Ivy's Grove? I think I said I was tagged by her, by Kelly. I was tagged by her to do this tag, and it was from a month ago, so I am a little sort of late in this, but your girl's been busy. Oh my god, I'm so tired. I've got the biggest shop drop I have ever done going live this evening, and I am very nervous about it, let me tell you, but we will see how it goes. Anyway, so this was predominantly, when I first started this channel, a tarot channel. I have put crafting stuff and art stuff up on here as well, and obviously some witchy bits and bobs, and this will be sort of part of what I go into in this tag anyway. I don't want to over explain it, but yeah, so this is going to be leaning more towards witch tube and like pagan tube rather than tarot tube. So if you're here for like tarot stuff, this might not be the video for you unless you are also into witch shit, in which case stick around. So yeah, wow, 6 minutes of waffle, pre-waffle. Anyway, yeah, I'm distracting myself. Anyway, what is your channel name and the significance behind it? Well, my channel name is Kelly Bear, and my nickname is Kelly Bear. That's literally it. When I picked the channel name, I really wanted to just pick something that was just going to be easy to be expansive. I could put anything up, and so the easiest way to do that was just to use my nickname. That's literally it. Question 2. What type of content do you create on your channel? For example, vlogs, educational, DIY, live streams, and so on. Well, I have done vlogs. I have done I have put some sort of like studio vlogs up in the past. I've done lots of live streams. I've done lots of again, this is more like the tarot side, like walkthroughs and deck unboxings, reviews, like actual reviews of decks that I've used for a while or for a long time. Tags, done lots of tags. This is a tag, obviously. Educational, I don't really see myself as a teacher at all in any capacity, not in the way that I would see some people as teachers, but I'm not here to inform folks generally as a rule. I'm just here to get my thoughts out, a bit like old school, as Thorn Mooney. Oh, I just realised I was Thorn Mooney. I did to put a name there. How the hell did I miss off Thorn Mooney? Thorn Mooney would say it's a bit like the old school form of YouTube, which is, I remember finding Thorn Mooney about 10, 11, 12 years ago. I don't know, a long time ago, before I even found Kellyanne Maddox, I think. Found Kellyanne Maddox not long after she'd started her channel, I think in about 2012, beginning of 2013. So yeah, that old school of just getting your thoughts out and then engaging with other people who are then making videos and VRs, or unasked for VRs, as Astral Lady Tarot would say, as Anna would say, or, you know, people discussing things in the comments below the video. That's mainly what I'm here for, just sharing stuff that I like, tarot stuff, witchy stuff, arts and crafts stuff in this little corner of the internet that is mine. Yeah, so yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I make. 3. What inspired you to start your channel? I genuinely, what can I speak? Genuinely cannot remember. There is a video going way back in 2016, I think I made, that was a tag by Judy Kerr, where she was asking about, I think it's called Why Do You Tarot Tube or something like that, or Why Do You YouTube? And I think I answer why I started the channel there, but for the life of me, I cannot remember. Probably wanting to just engage with the community a bit more, and just giving me something to like just do, like a little outlet, because, you know, I'm an out tarot reader and witch and neo-pagan, but well, I do now more so, but like back then I didn't have so many people IRL that I could talk to. There are a handful of them, but they're like spread out far away and it's not easier to see them. They're not so much like in London. There are a couple more now. Londoners, like my friends, have like really picked up the witchcraft thing a bit more in the last few years, which has been really fun and exciting. My friend Lisa, the Witcher list being one of them, who's got back into magic in the last few years. But yeah, so I was just wanting like community, and I had been joining in a lot on Kelly Fitz's The Truth in Stories Saturday Night Lives that she used to do like on the regular. I used to sort of be in there. I was a mod for that for her, and I would just be chatting, and yeah, I just wanted to be just try it. I didn't know if it was gonna work or if I'd stick to it, but you know, it's been over 7.5 years, so I guess it's stuck, or it's sticking for now. Question 4: how long have you been on YouTube as a content creator? I've just answered that one. 7.5 years. 7 years and 7 months. 7 is how many times, how many longs, how long, fuck, Maiken has words. It's one of the. I am really tired. I have worked for I don't know how many days straight. I have been working really solidly. It's just gonna be one of those videos. I apologise. Sorry, not. I don't apologise. Sorry, not sorry. Brain. It's the symptoms of my ME coming out, because I'm very tired, and so I might start to slur or stutter or find the wrong words as my brain fog like really kicks in. So it's just going to be one of those things. Chronic illness life. Don't at me, because I literally cannot help it. Yeah. What was I saying? This is going to be fun. I literally cannot remember what I was saying. This is going great. But yeah, 7 years and 7 months. Cannot remember what I was going to go on to say. It might come back, it might not. Question 5. What are your hobbies outside of your channel? I wouldn't say my channel is a hobby. I guess my channel is kind of a hobby. Yeah, my channel is a hobby, I guess, because I'm like here to like, yeah, I'm making videos. I enjoy making videos with my Oh, that was it. I was going to say, so it brought it back. I have been working solidly since my last shop drop, like hardcore, because like I said, I'm doing my biggest shop drop ever. So I've just been, my poor hands are like wrecked. I'm exhausted. This is not something I'll be doing on the regular. I'm just doing a very specific thing to try and do a thing, because Etsy. Anyway, so yeah, my other hobbies outside of the channel, I've really managed to get back into reading this year. I'm really proud. It doesn't always work like the last 2 mornings, like yesterday morning and this morning being the weekend. Usually I try, because I've got the time to just sit and just read in the morning and just chill out with a cup of tea. That's my favourite like time to read. But the last 2 mornings I haven't been able to do that because I'm so wiped out. I can't focus on stuff. So, but generally, like reading, when I can read, I love reading. Reading was my escape as a kid. It was reading, Legos, and like making stuff, drawing, painting, and like crafting. Those were like my 3 escapes as a kid. And like, I don't mind a bit of Lego these days, but it's very expensive. I do have some Lego, but they're like the fancy like build it and then you leave it Star Wars types of Lego, so you don't really play with it. But yes, yeah, so reading and making things are still my escape. My hobby, otherwise, tabletop role-playing games. I played Dungeons and Dragons with my online group Friday night and last night, 2 different campaigns. Sometimes we play Call of Cthulhu. We've recently played a 2-shot, one weekend 2-shot called for a game called the Yokai Hunters Club, which is a Japanese themed game written by Japanese creators. Yeah, I just love tabletop RPGs. I've tried all sorts of systems and I'm really excited to try more. I think we might be doing Vampire the Masquerade, which I've not played before, sometime maybe in November or possibly in the new year, depending on the person that's running it. They need some time to prep for that. But yeah, that tabletop RPGs, reading, making stuff. I make stuff for a living, but I also just make stuff for fun. Used to love baking, but my oven is just not doing the thing properly these days, so I can't really bake anymore unless it's like brownies, which you can kind of like fudge. Not FNAF, but you know, like fudgy brownies are good, so it doesn't matter if it sort of goes a bit wonky because you can just kind of get away with it with brownies. What else? Hobby, just learning stuff, just like nerding out over stuff and watching films. I fucking love watching films. Me and my spouse have our film nights pretty regularly. Just love watching films. Wow, what are we in? 15 minutes and we're only 5 out of 25. I'm going to have to speed this up. Is there a new style of content you would want to try? I would eventually like to give vlogs a go again, and I would potentially like to sort of to show what I'm up to, but also like just show videos of what things I've been making, just for fun, not necessarily stuff for my shop, but also like videos of, you know, like how people like Rachel Maxey or what have you. I'm not saying I would do it in that format. It would be a lot more simple and pared back because I just don't have the setup for it. She's been doing it for years. She has all the equipment. She has the editing and filming skills because she went to film school. You know, I would literally just be like, look at this thing that I made, and maybe film a bit of the process of it, you know, because I do all sorts of random stuff. I make hair accessories and flower crowns, and I can make clothes. Like, that's my original training. I worked in the fashion. I'm a fully trained pattern cutter, style developer and fashion designer. That was my first 10 years of my career. Yeah, just like sharing just stuff, making things, and maybe as I get a little bit older, maybe in a couple of years and a bit more confident in my own skills, maybe teaching people more about tarot. But I don't know how I feel about that. That's a maybe, because people are like, oh, you should do like a Tarot de Marseille course, because I'm really passionate about it. But I think there are people that already do that really well, and I don't think I would be adding anything to that, and I would kind of just be cribbing off of them because I've learned from them. You know, people like Tom Benjamin, Marilyn from Tarot Clarity, Magdalena at Wharf of Coins. There's loads of really great 78 Poetas. There's loads of really great Kelly Fitz from The Truth of the Story has some great like Marseille and Pip reading stuff out there that you can watch. I don't know if I would really be adding anything to the conversation, but you know, never. I've learned to never say never. That's the thing. Never say never. I'm going to pause for another cookie. I am the Cookie Monster. See, I did a live last week and I had forgotten about my biscuits, and so I had to eat them live because I had to use up my tea so that it didn't go cold. Whereas at least when I'm pre-recording, I can pause it and spare you me like Cookie Monstering food into my face. Anyway, next one. Question 7. How do you plan out your content? I have a section, right, in this planner. I'll just grab it. I should have been more prepared. In my planner, I didn't need to show it really, did I? I could have just said, I use a planner. I have a section in my planner, but I will show you, seeing as I've pulled it out. It is entitled YouTube, and in it has the notes from some of my previous videos, and other tags that I've done. I don't really need to keep them, but they're in there. And what I was originally doing at the beginning of the year, I was like, I'm going to be so organized. I'm going to like I'm going to pre-plan my videos, and then I'm going to tick off when I've done them, blah, 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 you know. And then I'll do this, I'll track what I'm doing. And I tried it for a little bit, you know, but I fly by the seat of my pants. I have a list of video ideas, tarot and witchcraft. There's quite a few of them. And then I have tarot hashtags that I could do, and then I colour the little squares in when I've done them. And then I'm always adding more to the back. I haven't added this one. I should add this one on the end and then colour it in because I've already done it. I love doing that. Sense of accomplishment after the fact. I have ideas for shorts and reels. I just haven't really got on that because the algorithm, it just wants too much of my time. Like, I have shit to do, like make things and walk my dog and spend time with my spouse and like boring housework. And then I have video ideas for art and crafting stuff, and then I have a blank page for shorts and reels for arts and crafts stuff. The thing is, right, I do have an arts and crafts channel. I haven't put anything on it for like a couple of years. It was driving me mad having 2 separate channels. I was like, I can't do this, so I like combine the 2, but then no one really watches my studio vlogs, which is a bit disheartening. But you know what, I just want to make content that I enjoy, so you know, I'm just one of those, I just want to be one of those makes all sorts of things makers, YouTubers. It's a bit like my shop. Everyone's like, knows me for my pouches, but that's not how my shop started. I make other things, and I'm trying to like break myself out of this pigeonhole I've like gotten into. And I love making pouches, and I'm so grateful for the people that buy them from me. Sorry, hay fever is the hardcore today. And yet I want to do other stuff as a creative, as an artist. I want to make other things, and I've sort of tickled that itch a little bit with the scratched that itch a little bit with my new pouch wrap spread cloth things. But there's more that I want to do that's like not just like tarot related. So yeah, that's how I do it. But for the most part, I also have a running list of video ideas on my to-do list in my phone, which is almost like a separate thing. I should probably add them into this as well, so they're at least on paper. And then half the time I forget to look at the list, or I look at the list and go, oh, I don't really feel like making any of those, and then I just do something else entirely different. So how do I plan my content? Mostly I fucking don't. Can you tell? Like, what hot mess is this? Sorry, I just realised I haven't finished. I got half a cookie. I need to finish it. Dr. Nomi's cracking me up. You can just see a little head, top of her little head there. She keeps moving around to sit in the sun because the sun's moving. I took a picture of her about 10 minutes ago before I started filming of her. I'll see if I can remember to put it in the what do we call it? To put it into the video when I edit it, so you can see Dr. Nomi sunning herself. Sun's out, buns out. Okay, question 8. What are your tools of the trade? Example, cameras, mics, lighting, software. For the longest time, it was me, my laptop camera, and my kitchen table for a very, very long time. Sometimes my dressing table. And then the last few years I've been here at this desk because I got all of this set up for working at, and my bookshelf and everything. It's all great. So I had a proper space, and also because my spouse works from home most days, and I can't be filming in the kitchen because, you know, it just doesn't work because they have a lot of like online work meetings, and so they can't have me talking, and I can't have them talking, and it's a whole thing. And we can't really close the door because the kitchen is where Nomi's litter box is and her water is and one of her beds, so she needs to be able to come in and out of the kitchen. So I was just like, it's easier to just film up here. And also the great thing is I can have my ring light and my mic set up, and then I don't have to move all my, because I used to have to take my laptop downstairs, but now I have a Logi webcam. I don't use the one on my laptop because it's fucking potato quality. I have a Snowball mic with a pop filter, and that's on a mic arm on one side of my desk, and the other side of my desk I have a ring light, just a small cheap one. I would like to get a larger, more powerful one, because that would be one of the things that I need for filming top-down videos for arts and crafts video stuff, and for like vlogs, for studio vlogs. And occasionally if I'm filming top down, I film on my phone, on my mobile phone. That's literally it. Software, the last year maybe, not even, I've been using OBS for pre-recorded, and then I use StreamYard for my lives, and I just use the free version of both. I keep it simple because I am not tech savvy at all. Once I sort of get the hang of something and I learn how to do something, I'm okay. Oh, and then I've been editing my videos in Animotica. It's not great, but I got the paid version a few years ago. It was like £6 or £7, and then you just have it. It's not the best, but anything more complicated, I'm going to freak out. Would I like to be able to be better at video editing and have better software? Yes, but all those things cost money, and I feel like I need an actual proper video camera to like do that kind of thing. And also I find that kind of stuff, like tech stuff, I just find all that back end stuff of boring. It's the same with like running a shop. Like having my own website would be really difficult for me, at least at this moment in time, because there's so much that I don't understand, and also I just don't, it doesn't interest me, and my brain will not learn or even try to learn things that just do not interest it. That is the problem with having a squirrel brain, but having like neurospiciness is just like, it's just like no. And it's not even like it doesn't want to, it's like you physically cannot. My brain does not produce the chemicals to push my brain to do the things that I need to do, and even often want to do. Like it's a thing. Brains are weird. So yeah, you know, I think of someone like Roxanne Coble of Buy Bun. She's an art channel, and she does have some tarot videos as well. She's creating a tarot deck and an oracle deck. But she's really shit hot. She has like a MacBook and she's got fancy software and she films tons of videos and she has multiple cameras and you know. But she's a content creator for on Patreon now. That's like her main thing, and it's all just art based. It's really cool. But I just could never. I could never. And I say never say never. I'm unlikely to. I could unlikely to. Anyway, question 9. As a content creator, do you experience burnout? If so, what does that look like for you and how do you recover from it? I will burn out if I've been doing like a month tag. I've done them a few times over the years. It gets a bit much. I'm not great at sticking to them, but I did like Neo-Pagan November last year, and what I tend to do is I break them down into like 2 or 3 day chunks, so then I do one every few days. I find that much more manageable. My problem is I don't so much experience creator burnout. I experience genuine like crashes and flare-ups from my chronic illnesses which stop me making videos. So it's more like the other way around. Then it's not YouTube causing burnout, it's my illnesses causing me to not be able to make videos. So it's the other way around. Question 10. Which video are you the most proud of and why? My most recent video that I'm most proud of, it's not a witchy video, it is a tarot video, and it is my Tarot de Marseille resources video. I'm really proud of that. It's long, it's rambly. Could I have just made it really professional and like made it succinct and you know, yeah, probably, but me. So it is what it is, but I'm really proud of that because I feel like I gave some good tips at the beginning of the video. I feel like I shared some really useful books and really useful decks, and I've had people messaging me saying they have found it really useful. Either they've started reading Tarot de Marseille and they found it really useful, or they've been really looking to start Tarot de Marseille but didn't know where to start, and they found the video useful for getting started, and that just means the world to me because that is why I made it, and I am so proud of that. The other video that I'm really proud of is the video where I talk about one of my breast cancer scares. I've had several at this point. It was my second. I've had 3. This was my second breast cancer scare, and I spoke about my experience. This would have been January or February of 2020, the videos from, and I just talk about it. I just needed to get it off my chest because I had been holding on to so much stress and grief and worry and anxiety, but also it's just so important to just talk about these things, because raising awareness, people need to check their breasts and their breast tissue regularly for their, you know, for their health, and it's something I'm very passionate about. It runs in my family. I've lost people to breast cancer. I have a friend who is currently going through treatment for breast cancer. She is post double mastectomy at this point in time and is just having some other treatment at the moment. So like, it's a really big deal. I have an acquaintance who had a preemptive breast removal and mastectomy and breast reconstruction, and she actually is a campaigner and advocate and works towards raising awareness about it as well, because she has the gene, because her mum died from breast cancer and she was tested and she had the breast cancer gene, so it was a preemptive thing that she did. So yeah, it's just, those are probably like, that's an old video that I'm very proud of, and then the you know, one is way obviously more serious than the other, but I'm proud of them for different reasons. Okay, which video, oh no, that's number 10. Number 11, who inspires you within the magical and pagan community? This is a funny one, right, because when it comes to TarotTube, I've been on it for, I don't know, I have people that I kind of follow and watch regularly. With TarotTube, I'm much more like, with WitchTube and like PaganTube, I'm a lot more like, I bounce around. I don't have as many witchy and pagan subscriptions. I tend to just sort of, you know, nibble. I go in, I'll search for something, or I'll scroll my recommends, you know, that the homepage that recommends stuff to you, and sort of find stuff there. I don't have a huge number that I like diligently follow, but people that like, one that like comes to mind is Thorn Mooney, who I completely forgot off the bat, and then she popped into my mind when I was mentioning something else. She's probably the first witch I remember finding on YouTube. Love Thorn Mooney. The second one that comes to mind is Kellyanne Maddox. She started off doing, you know, she was the Four Queens, that was her channel name. But obviously she also spoke about witchy stuff, and she tends to speak more on witchy stuff now than tarot stuff. She still talks about tarot stuff, but it sort of switch the other way. I just really like her voice, the way that she talks about things, and how sort of she has very much does her own thing, and it's really fun. And that also comes across in her book Rebel Witch, which I think is quite a fun and interesting book for both newbies and for seasoned practitioners alike, looking to sort of personalize and really sort of figure out their own path. I really like that. So other people that I find inspiring, I think Ivy the Occultist has done an amazing job in the last year or so in building her channel. I think she just celebrated 20,000 followers, and I'm just like, wow, that's impressive. But she uploads pretty consistently. Her videos are very nice to look at. She has interesting things to say. She's very knowledgeable about what she's talking about. She has interviews sometimes with people. She recently did an interview with Marshall, the Witch of Southern Light, talking about his book, which I am currently reading and loving. So yeah, I really enjoy her stuff, and I find that really inspiring that she's managed to like grow it in such a short amount of time. And it's not like, that's not my modus operandi for my videos. I'm not there to grow a channel. I'm not here to grow a channel. But I really admire someone who's like, right, I'm going to do this thing, and like they're very like putting out really beautifully edited, created, useful videos. Like she's definitely there, like providing resources and information for folks, which I really like. And I really enjoy April at Tarot and Witchery. And then she has another channel called Natural Witchery, I think. I'm subscribed to her Tarot and Witchery, and then I sort of dip into her other one. I'll check it every now and then and just see if she's uploaded anything. But it's just nice to see someone, you know, older than me. You know, Kellyanne Maddox and Thorn and Ivy, they're all younger than me. I think they're all still in their 30s, whereas, you know, I'm in my 40s, and I think April is in her 50s, her early 50s. It's just nice to see an older witchy lady doing her thing. So yeah, there are a few popping up. There's I'm trying to think, there's another lady that does some really good videos. I'm forgetting her name off the top of my head. Goodness me, my memory. Question 12. Are there any channels you would recommend? So obviously the ones I've just mentioned: Thorn Mooney, Kellyanne Maddox, Ivy the Occultist, Tarot and Witchery, and then other ones. These are ones that I sort of dip in and out of. Some are really huge, some are quite small channels or moderately sized channels, but I think they've all had some interesting stuff to say. So I would say Blade and Broom. That's Lorelei. Lorelai's not posted anything for a few months. So some haven't uploaded for a while. They could be more sporadic, and some are a bit more regular. So, but it's always worth like having a gander at, you know, what they've put up so far. Redheaded Witch, she's been on the scene the last year or so. She put some cute stuff up. Frankie Castaneda, Chaotic Witch Aunt, who doesn't love them? Like, I love Frankie. Frankie cracks me up. And I guess also Olivia, Witch of Wanderlust. They've done some crossover videos together. The Witch of Darklight. She's always fun. And sorry, I can't read my own writing. Mint Fairy, it's so cute, and like just very like just looks beautiful, and has like some really fun like grimoire videos. I do love the old grimoire video. But yeah, so Witch of Darklight, Mint Fairy, Leanne's Witchy Room. She's got some fun stuff, again some more like grimoire stuff as well. I think she recently did a grimoire update, if I remember correctly. The Green Witch is another quite a big channel. Most people will think of Hearth, Hearth Witch. She's a British channel. Who else? Ivy's Grove, of course. Kelly, who tagged me here, her channel's is a couple of years old. Taya Kennedy. Taya is another one who knows her onions and is always a good time. I found quite a few of these folks. Like, I think I found the Witch of Darklight and Leanne's Witchy Room and Ivy's Grove, Taya Kennedy. Pretty Alice at Night. I found them all via the Neo-Pagan November tag that went round last year, that I also took part in. The Vonniness puts out good stuff. the Witch of Enchantment, he's funny. Do the Magical Thing, again another one that hasn't been posted to for a while, but really enjoyable content. Really love Do the Magical Thing, because it's about doing the magical thing. Just do it. I like it. So yeah, I would I've just word vomited at you, and you probably won't remember them all, but these will all be linked down below. Their channels will all be linked down below, so you can go check them out. So yeah, question 13. Do you believe there are misconceptions about being a magical or pagan YouTuber? Maybe, I don't know. Misconceptions, maybe. I think maybe people, I think the misconception is that all witches are pagans, or that all pagans are witches. That's not true. I think that there's maybe a misconception that we all kind of believe the same thing. For people from the outside, there are many different flavors of witchcraft and paganism, which sort of ties into my just previous comment, that maybe we are all also into maybe conspiracy stuff, or like love and light, new age stuff. There is a bit of crossover, and there is a problem with conspiracy theories and the whole issues with, like, is it 5e and Lumeria and like star seeds, and the issues with like alt-right stuff, and the way that that is all born out of like really gnarly stuff in eugenics and Nazism. Like, if you're like, it's, the information is there, put it that way. But you know, that is also a criticism of a lot of the sort of occult, Western occult, and like, you know, Blavatsky and Theosophy and all of that stuff, which is sort of inherently problematic as well. Like, there's so much, but yeah, I think there's maybe a people lump sometimes neo-pagans in with New Agers, and there is some crossover, but also, like, I'm really not into, I find a lot of New Age stuff incredibly problematic on many fronts. So yeah, let's see, what do you like and dislike about being on YouTube? I not only like but love being able to interact with people, like other YouTube creators and people in the comments, and meeting like new people and having discussions. I really, really like that. I dislike I guess there can be, to a certain extent, sometimes like parasocial relationships, which can be a bit tricky to navigate. Also, you know, there's always trolling, and I've had my fair share of trolling over the years from people, but for me, mostly I've just sort of shaken it off. But there is also an argument for not shaking it off and actually confronting that. So I don't know. For the most part, I generally like it, and if I'm not enjoying myself, I just don't make videos, or if I don't feel like making a video, I don't make a video. Basically. 15. What are some of the challenges and struggles you face creating on this platform, and how do you overcome them? For me, a lot of the time it's not having the budget for the equipment, and then even if I had the equipment, not having the knowledge on how to sort of use it, and then so there's a steep learning curve for me, and then sort of there's that. I would like to create maybe some slightly nicer looking videos and slightly different content, like new different types of content, that would keep things a bit more interesting for like myself at making the videos, and for people watching them as well. You know, just the boring stuff, like the way it can just take ages to upload, and problems with editing and crashing and rendering, that kind of thing. But for the most part, like, I don't know, challenges and struggles. Maybe it's because my channel's quite small and I don't make particularly, like, I'm just sort of, although I will edit this video, it's really minimal. It's like the bare bones I can get away with editing. So, you know, it's probably less challenging for me on that front. I don't know. 16. What is your opinion on monetization, paywalls, or other exclusive content? Example, Patreon or other membership services, because obviously there's a membership option for YouTube as well for channels. I just realised my drink's going to go cold and I need another cookie. Okay, so I don't really mind it, honestly. I think it's really tricky to make a living out there. Things are getting harder. As someone who runs a very small business, a small handmade shop, I really struggle. I don't even make a living. I can't even say I barely make a living. I don't make a living from what I do, and so I can understand people wanting to put content on Patreon. So, for example, Roxanne Coble, who I mentioned earlier, is an artist. She has a Patreon. I supported her Patreon for a couple of years, but I had to stop because I didn't have the funds when things were getting really tight towards the end of last year. But she puts so much content. So she does all videos, so her content is just videos and occasional blog posts, and it was so lovely having a look because she puts so much stuff up there, loads of really fun and interesting stuff. But she also puts stuff on YouTube. She does provide free content as well, not as much as when she was just on YouTube, but I think that's fair. She's trying to make a living, and it's helping her make art and get by. And some people have worked really hard to learn. Like, there are people out there who are very knowledgeable, very skilled, tarot readers and witches and what have you, crafters. And I think having that paywall is being paid for the labor that you're putting out there. Like, this is free content, but like, my videos, excuse me, quite frankly, look like a dog's dinner. I am sat in my bedroom. My bed is rolled down to air it out. I've got my cardigan, my hot water bottle there for my back pain. Like, it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. My flat is a state constantly. Like, I wouldn't really expect anyone to pay for this, but there are people that are putting out, putting out really beautiful, well-made, put together, well thought out, educational, interesting stuff. And they've worked a really long time to gain that knowledge. And yeah, why not? You pay for a book, you pay for, I don't know. I think it's fair. And most of the people that do have stuff behind a paywall, whether it is a podcast or a YouTube channel or some other kind of thing, they will often also be putting free content out elsewhere as well anyway. So yeah, it's kind of the nature of how makers and independent folks have sort of been able to sort of carve out a living in a way that's just a bit different to the traditional way that we're used to. So wow, yeah, there's that. Oh, also I was going to say, because I remember I did a live last week and I asked the people watching, I said, does YouTube play videos at the beginning and end, play ads at the beginning and or end of my videos? And people said yes. And I was like, well, fuck me. If they are actually doing that, I might as well monetize my channel, because if they're going to play adverts anyway, I might as well get like 10 pence a month for it. Fucking hell, you know what I mean? 10 pence is 10 pence. I don't know how much it would be. Maybe £1. I don't know. Hey, in 6 months I'd have enough for a coffee and a cake round the corner. It's I'm considering it, although I swear so much. I don't think I would be. I think most of my videos would be demonetized anyway, but it's worth a go, right? I don't know. There's that. So yeah, 17. Do you have any boundaries on this platform? Why and why not? Yes and no. People have often commended me for being incredibly open and like real or authentic. This is still you seeing what I allow you to see. So I am very open about my mental health. I'm very open about living with invisible chronic illnesses. I've been very open about what it's like living as an immunocompromised person in an ongoing panini. Yes, it is still going, believe it or not. It's not fun, FYI. And I've also, like I said, as I mentioned earlier, spoken about things like breast cancer scares and stuff like that. I've been very open about it. But then at the same time, I'm very sort of closed a lot of the time about my spiritual practice. I've been my magical practice. That's all been a bit more cagey. And there's still stuff about my life and about my health and about my well-being that I don't share. And actually, as I'm getting a bit older, I'm in my 40s now, and as I'm just sort of maybe re-establishing what I am happy to share and what I would rather not share, whilst trying to still have some level of transparency with folks. So I don't know if you've noticed, I've been a little less sort of talking about certain things, or maybe just alluding. So I've just realised the clouds are rolling in. I'm worried it's going to start chucking it down, and if it does, I'll have to close the window because I have an indie tarot deck spread on my altar, and the rain will get it. So I'll have to be. I need to keep an eye on that. So panic stations. So yeah, I do have boundaries, but maybe less than others. But I am sort of in the process of sort of figuring out how I feel about that, because we constantly reevaluate our values and our boundaries and all sorts of things. That's just how it goes. Which makes me think of another video idea I've had for a while, which is talking about our values and our the ways that we what's the word I'm looking to, the way that things that we hold ourselves to. I cannot word today, sorry, but anyway, that's a video for another day. Do you have any current goals for your channel? Yes, I would. Like I said, I would like to do some more making things, like crafting things. I would like to do some more interesting tarot stuff, but I don't know what that would be. I don't know, we'll see. I would like to put more witchy content on. I don't have much witchy content for a practicing witch and a pagan, a neo-pagan. I do class those things as kind of separate but also slightly intertwined, if that makes sense. Like, you don't have to be a pagan to be a witch. You don't have to. My witchcraft is not necessarily my spirituality, but there are spirits involved. It's a whole thing. Anyway, animism. But yeah, I would like to have more witchy content. I think it's because whenever I share witchy content on my channel, again, it doesn't get that many views because people are like, oh, well, you're a tarot channel. Not watching that. But like, when I have tarot tubes channels that I watch put witchy content, I watch it because I'm also interested in witchy content. I don't know. Like Kellyanne Maddox, tarot and witchcraft, right? She's one of the firsts that I found, along with Thorn Mooney. Meow, 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 meow. 19. What are some of the mistakes you've made and how did you fix them? Oh my goodness. So many, probably. I've definitely put my foot in my mouth multiple times over the years. I sometimes don't think before I speak, or I speak when I'm very tired or ratty, or I don't really have a filter. As I get older, I'm getting better at being tactful and having a filter. Again, I'm realizing that's probably a neurodivergent thing, where you just say what is in your head and then people go, that's offensive, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, I need to like think about what I'm saying a bit more maybe, or say it in a different way. I've definitely waded in onto conversations that I should not, that it wasn't my place to wade in on, or to weigh in on, and have definitely upset folks, and you know, fucked up, and it's not a comfortable place to be. It's not nice realizing that you've been a fucking dickhead, but we can all be dickheads, and my intention is never ever to hurt or upset anyone, unless they're fascists and conservatives. Fuck them. Being facetious now, or am I? But you know what I mean. Like, I never set out to sort of intentionally hurt anyone, but as the saying goes, intention doesn't equal impact. And I've definitely put my foot in my mouth. I also think sometimes I've been misconstrued, or I've been misunderstood, where I can be quite sarcastic, and sometimes that doesn't come across quite well. Again, there is a bit of a neurodivergence issue there as well. I don't know, but yeah, I've tried to, either, if I've said something that's either incorrect in a video, I've tried to then correct it in a later video, or if it's with someone, like a particular person, I've then tried to sort of amend that situation outside of YouTube. So yeah, it's, you learn, you grow, you learn, you know better, you do better. That's the goal. But yeah, I've definitely trod on some toes. I've definitely not been the best I can, not been the best human I could be, and I'm not proud of it, but I like to think that I've sort of can be a better person from that experience, and that's all we can hope for, right, is to grow and yeah, do better, all of us. We can all do better. Even now, I'm always can do better. 20. What are some of the ways your channel has grown since your first video? I started my channel with a monthly tag. It was Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot. I think many folks have started their channel with that tag because it starts in January. It's a whole month. It's a good way to get in on the action, isn't it? And so I did a lot of unboxings. My tarot collection, like many people that get into TarotTube and really start to get into tarot quite heavily, I was buying a lot of decks. I was doing a lot of unboxings, a lot of walkthroughs, a lot of tags. I feel like now I have more of a mix of stuff. I have my sort of little philosophical waffles. I'm trying to be a bit more sort of doing more thoughtful, for me, thoughtful content. I mean, I'm a twat. I chat bollocks. I'm just like I like to just sometimes sit with a drink and just get my thoughts out and just see if it jives with anyone else. But yeah, I've tried to make my content a bit more well-rounded, and I don't buy that many decks anymore. I do have a flurry of of decks coming into my collection at the beginning of the year, maybe the first 3 or 4 months, because I use my Christmas and birthday money. My birthday is in January, so I ask my family often, can I just get money for Christmas and for my birthday so that I can buy books and decks for myself throughout the year. So what I tend to do is I go nuts for donuts for bananas at the top of the year, and then I usually save the rest to sort of treat myself to books throughout the year, which is what I've been doing. I've been steadily buying books and reading books, and you know, I might treat myself to like a nice, I don't know, a nice eyeshadow, or you know, an item of clothing or something, or if I need a pair of shoes or something. That's what that money's there for. It's like, it's partly like gifts to myself money, but also, oh shit, like my boots are falling apart and I need a new pair of boots, and that money's there. I can just pick them up without having to save for them first. So yeah, that's why I just, the rest of the year I'm not, oh, I bring the odd deck in, but not to the extent that I do at the beginning of the year. And I've been, the last couple of years, I've been treating myself to an October deck, so I'll be doing that this year. I still haven't decided what my October deck will be. I'm still thinking about that. What are we at? We're at fucking 50 bloody one, for nearly 52 minutes. Fucking hell. Okay, 21. We're nearly there. We've got 5 left. We're on the home stretch, folks. Bless you for. Oh, do you know what? I just realised I said I was going to show the cards and then I didn't. Oh well, fuck it. It's what it is. What it is. Squirrel brain. Oh yeah. So, have you ever wanted to quit making videos? Why and why not? Yes, actually. There's been times where my health has been so bad that I'm like, I don't think I can like make videos. It's just too much work, which just seems really weird, because especially at the time I was just pointing the camera, my laptop camera at me. I don't know, it was because I'd been uploading quite regularly and I felt like people expected a video from me at least once a week, and I had always just been making videos because I wanted to. Maybe that's the burnout, maybe that's the YouTube burnout. And I was like, oh, maybe I should just stop making them. And then there's been a couple of times where I've really lost my tarot mojo. Like, I've not only lost my tarot mojo, but I've lost my passion for tarot. And I'm like, I don't even, especially in 2020, right, that happened to a lot of us. I didn't make videos for like a massive wedge of time because I just couldn't. I just did not have the capacity to, and I just wasn't really using tarot because everything was just what the fuck. And so there was a massive wedge of space between videos. But yeah, most of the time I just, my channel is just here, it's sitting here, and it's here for me to make videos when I want. And yeah, sometimes I've had a break for a few months or a month, or you know, sometimes I'll make 1 video a week, sometimes I've made 4 videos in a week. I just go with it. I'm very sort of, lately I have tried to make more of a concerted effort to just, instead of just like rapidly making videos and putting them up when I can, like whenever I get the feeling to, I'm trying to sort of schedule a time. So usually on a Friday morning or afternoon, or on a Sunday I will film a video, because also I'm trying to have more of a routine with my business, and so that means I can't just stop and make videos when I want to, which is what I used to do before. When I was a hair and makeup artist, I worked part-time, so the days that I wasn't on shoots or anything like that, on jobs, I could just like I'll be like, right, well, I can film 3 videos in a row. Like, I can't do that anymore. I have to run a business, and it is a full-time job, not a part-time job. So yeah, I have less time to make videos, essentially, I guess. What do you wish you knew before starting your YouTube channel journey? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't really think of anything because the experience I've had on YouTube has made me the YouTuber I am today. So, but yeah, and if I knew that beforehand, I wouldn't have learned that lesson. So, nothing, I'm gonna say. Do you post on any other platforms? If so, what are they? Yes, I'm more of a lurker on Twitter. I fucking hate Facebook, so don't even bother with me on there. I use it because I need to check. I use it to communicate with Messenger with some people, and there is like, I just check to see like whose birthday it is. Other than that, like mostly I get in and I get out, I bounce. I hate it. I just check my notifications. Sometimes I don't check Facebook for a week, 2 weeks. I hate it. It's my least favorite platform, which is saying something because X is pretty bad these days. But my main other one that I post to is Instagram. I have my personal account, which has like my just general life stuff. You'll see lots of Dr. Nomi on there, my food, what I'm up to, you know, just general life stuff and tarot stuff. And then I have my other one, which is my other account, which is much smaller, but I'm trying to grow it because that's the one that I share that's more my shop and my art and my crafts. And so at the moment I cross-pollinate all of that pretty much onto my personal account because it has a wider reach, and so it's the only way I can get folks to like see my stuff, so people know that I have shop drops and things like that coming up, because the algorithm is cruel. But yeah, so Instagram is my main other one that I post on, and that's where I put like my daily readings or weekly readings and things like that on there. And again, they will all be linked down below. 24. Do you have any advice for those wishing to create a channel? Be yourself. Don't worry if you don't have all of the equipment. Loads of us just started, like I said, with our laptop webcam, and you can still do that. That's not a problem. And yeah, just make content that makes you happy, and the right people will find you. This is a thing I'm constantly telling myself, trying not to make videos that I think people will like, because that never worked for me, and I try not to do it. And every time I've been tempted to make it, like it's just what. So I just make content that you love and be yourself, and that is going to come across better than you trying to. On saying that, we all have a certain like way that we are on videos, I think. I am very much how I am here with you. I am very much like that, but there are videos where I'm trying to be a bit more professional, a bit more like having it together, but that's just, you know, putting on a different hat rather than being an entirely different person, right? It's a bit like, you know, you're still yourself when you go into work, but you probably a bit different around your colleagues than you are around your spouse or your best friends or your family or, you know, strangers in the street. You're still you just have different hats that you wear for different situations. So just be yourself, babe, just be yourself. And 25, who will you tag in this video? I will tag Taya Kennedy, Kellyanne Maddox, and April at Tarot and Witchery. If they see this, I will put this in my community feed and tag them. Wow, nearly a whole GD hour of this. So I want to thank Ivy's Grove, Kelly, for tagging me. I'm sorry it's taken me so long. I've been very busy. And I've needed to have the time to sit down and like write some notes and also be in the mood to make it. Like I have to like want to make the video, and I knew that I wanted to make it. It was just finding the right time for when I was like into making it, if that makes sense. And then also Starlight the World Witch for actually creating this tag. Again, those will both be linked down below along with everything else. So yeah, this is almost an hour, so I'm going to wrap it up there. If you have watched it all the way through, fucking hell, well done. Bloody hell, I am impressed. Let me know if you've done this tag. I need to search this tag a bit more and see who else has done it, because I haven't actually done that yet. And also, yeah, Comments, thoughts down below. Like, comment, subscribe, or don't, whatever. It's up to you. You do you. As it says on my outro card, you know, like and subscribe or don't. I am not the boss of you. You aren't the boss of you. You do you. So yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to me waffle on. You're a weirdo, but I love you. Thank you. And you take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.